Hey guys, welcome back. I hope that you had a great weekend and had a pretty easy first week, kind of easing into this whole online learning thing. Um, Hope you're staying inside, staying safe, not doing anything too stupid now. Um, but I'm going to continue on with kind of just going back over chapter 9 again. All right, I'll upload a video on the last two sections. All right, in the next day or so. Alright, so look out for that, and that'll help you with the other assignments, alright, for the rest of the week. So, the first assignment and things we're going to be looking at today is 9.4 and 9.5. Okay, these were our trig ratios. Alright, so 9.4 dealt with tangent. Okay, so tangent is the ratio of the opposite side to the adjacent side. Okay, and for all of these, sine, cosine, and tangent, I can only really use these in right triangles. Okay? So tangent is opposite over adjacent. So the tangent of A equals, alright, we're actually going to label these small sides. A, B, opposite of big B, and then little c is opposite of big C. And then C, if you remember, that's the hypotenuse. So the tangent of A, so opposite of A is little a over, and then adjacent to big A is little b. Okay, so that's one of them. All right, we do have another angle we can use. We can use the tangent of B. All right, and that's going to equal, all right, opposite, which is little b, and divided by adjacent, which is A. And that's all there is to figuring out what the tangent of a certain angle is. All right, so now why don't we put some numbers to it? All right, so we're going to find the tangent of S and the tangent of R. All right, so the tangent of S, all right, so opposite of S is 80, and then adjacent to S is 18. All right, and if you want, you can plug that in. All right, that's going to give you a number that's pretty big. Actually, not too big, but I'm too lazy. If you want to, you can find that answer. All right, and I think that might be what your assignment's going to be looking for. Okay, so R, all right, opposite of R is 18, and then adjacent to R is 80. And again, if you want, you can punch that into your calculator and you can solve for it. And I think I'll let you guys do that if you need it. But that's all you need to do for tangent. All right, to figure out what the tangent of an angle is. All right, we'll do one more example. All right, that way. So we have our two angles, J and K. So the tangent of K equals opposite 32 over adjacent 24. All right, and then we're just going to do the tangent of J. The opposite of J is 24. And then adjacent to J is 32. All right, and that is pretty much it. All right. The only other type of problem that we might encounter for the time being is when we have to solve for a side now. Okay, so we're going to still use the tangent ratio, but we're given the angle this time. So we have the tangent of 32 equals, our opposite is 11, and then divided by x. Okay, so we want to solve for x. So what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply, because this is really over 1. So tangent of 32 times, All right, tangent of 32 times x equals 1 times 11. So you have 11 equals x tan of 32. And then to get x by itself, we divide both sides by tangent of 32. So you get x equals the tangent of 32. Oh, shoot, I screwed that up. 11 divided by the tangent of 32. And if I plug that into my calculators, all right, it gives me approximately, I'm going to round it to the nearest, that thing, the nearest tenth, sorry. All right, and I get 16.6. So that's how long x is. All right, that's if the missing side is adjacent. What if the missing side is opposite? All right, so that's what we do in this problem right here. So tangent of 56 equals, all right, opposite x over adjacent 13. All right, so again, we need to cross multiply. This is really over 1. So tangent of 56 times 13. So 13 tangent of 56 equals x. So we can just straight up plug this into a calculator to figure out what x equals. So I'm going to do just that. So 13 tan 56. Oops. Oops, that's not giving me what I'm looking for. Boo. Come on. Hold on 1 second. All right, so after figuring it out, doing it the right way, you should get x equals 19.3, roughly. All right, so that's if you're just missing the opposite side. So if you're missing the opposite side, it's actually a lot easier to do this. Okay, so that's it for tangent. Let's go ahead and move on to sine and cosine. So it's more or less the same thing, dealing with trig ratios and right triangles only. Okay, so what we do is the same thing. Okay, so I have this lovely triangle here, STR. Okay, so the sine of S, all right, so sine is opposite of S is 63, and then over the hypotenuse, which is 65. And that's it. That's all you need to do. Again, they might ask for a decimal form. Once you do that, well, you can just plug that in. It's easy as that. All right, if we do sine of R now, all right, opposite of R is 16. And then we're going to divide it by 65. And that's going to equal another decimal, less than 1. It will always, sine and cosine are always going to be less than 1. Cosine, all right, up here is the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So if we look at cosine of S, the adjacent to S is 16, and the hypotenuse is still 65, which if you notice, sine of R and cosine of S, they're the same thing. So if you pick up on the pattern, then sine of s should equal the cosine of r. All right, so the adjacent to r is 63, which is the same as the sine or opposite of s. All right, and then our hypotenuse is still 65. Okay, so that's as straightforward as it can be. All right, just being able to identify, all right, the different parts of the triangle and how they relate to one another with sine and cosine. All right, so now we're just going to do 2 quick examples, all right, using sine and cosine. All right, so we're given the angle and the hypotenuse, and we're going to find the missing sides right here. Okay, so if I'm given 26, I'm going to do sine of 26 equals, all right, the opposite of 26 is x, and then the hypotenuse is 14. So again, I'm going to cross multiply, so I get x equals 14 sine of 26. So x equals, if I do 14 sine of 26, I end up getting 6.1. All right, I can do cosine now of 26 equals, all right, y over 14. And again, I'm going to cross multiply, so I get y equals 14 cosine of 26. And once you plug that in, we end up getting approximately 12.6. And that's it. We found our 2 answers, our 2 missing sides. All right, we're going to do the same thing on one more example. All right, and then you can go ahead and give the assignments a go. All right, and make sure you're actually doing the work, because I know that some of you just use PhotoMath. It should take you longer than 5 minutes to do an assignment. Catch my drift? Cool. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to set up sine of 65 equals, all right, since t is opposite of 65, that goes with sine. So we do t over 8, and then I'm going to set up cosine of 65 equals, adjacent to 65 is u. We go u over 8. So I just need to cross multiply. All right, since our sine and cosine are really over 1, I get 8 sine of 65 equals t, and 8 cosine of 65 equals u. All right, and if I plug all those lovely numbers in, all right, I'm going to do cosine first, actually. I get 3.4. All right, once I plug in sine instead, all right, t is going to equal 7.3. And that is it. We are good to go, and so are you. All right, hope you are having a fabulous extended time away from school. But please be safe. Please wash your hands. But also remember to have fun and hang out with your family. Hug them. Try not to kill them. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll make another video for the last 2 sections. Alright, but that's it. Have a wonderful Monday and Tuesday, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.